Picture this. It's the year 2035. You wake up, grab your coffee, and check your phone. But instead of seeing your Bitcoin balance, you see a zero. No, you didn't get phished. No, the exchange didn't crash. Something much scarier happened. A machine, a quantum computer, just sliced through Bitcoin security like a hot knife through butter. Headlines are screaming, "The end of crypto. The quantum apocalypse is here." It sounds like a sci-fi horror movie, right? This is the single biggest fear, the ultimate FUD that critics have been throwing at Bitcoin for years. They say quantum computers will crack the code and steal everyone's money. But take a deep breath, because a new report just came out, and it turns out the quantum apocalypse is pretty much a myth. The actual number of Bitcoin at risk isn't millions. It's not even hundreds of thousands. It's about 10,000 Bitcoin. Wait, what? Just 10K? Why so specific? Let's dig into the truth behind the quantum boogeyman. To understand this, we have to talk about how Bitcoin locks up your money. Think of your Bitcoin wallet like a safe. To open it, you need a private key, but to let people send you money, you give them a public address. Here is the problem. In the very early days of Bitcoin, back when Satoshi Nakamoto was still around, the digital safes were built a little differently. They were, let's say, transparent. Technically, these old wallets, called P2PK, expose their public key to the world all the time. For a quantum computer, which is basically a supercalculator on steroids, seeing that public key is like seeing the tumblers inside a transparent lock. Given enough time, it could figure out the combination. There are about 1.7 million Bitcoins sitting in these old, transparent zombie wallets. They haven't moved in over a decade. But, and this is huge, most of us don't use those wallets anymore. If you bought Bitcoin in the last 10 years, you're likely using modern wallets. Think of modern wallets as safes with a heavy steel curtain over the lock. The quantum computer can't break the code because it can't even see the lock until the moment you spend the money. So the vast majority of Bitcoin is already invisible to this threat. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, but what about those 1.7 million old coins? Aren't they sitting ducks? Here's where it gets interesting. The report from CoinShares did the math, and the result is hilarious. Hacking Bitcoin with a quantum computer isn't free. It's incredibly expensive. Imagine building a billion-dollar robot just to rob a kid's piggy bank. It doesn't make sense, right? To break just one Bitcoin address, a quantum computer would need to run for a long time, burning massive amounts of energy. Most of those old wallets hold small amounts of Bitcoin. If a hacker spends $10 million in computing power to steal $5,000 worth of Bitcoin, well, that's just bad business. The juice isn't worth the squeeze. The only targets worth attacking are the massive whale wallets, the ones holding thousands of Bitcoin in a single address. When you filter out the small fish and the wallets that are already safe, the report estimates that only about 10,000 Bitcoin are actually vulnerable and profitable to steal. 10,000 BTC. In a market that trades millions of coins, 10,000 is a drop in the ocean. Even if they were stolen and sold instantly, the market would absorb it in an afternoon. So, is that it? Do we just hope the hackers are bad at math? No, we have a backup plan. Remember, Bitcoin is software, it's code, and code can be upgraded. Long before a quantum computer becomes powerful enough to be a real threat, the Bitcoin network will undergo a soft fork, basically a system update. Think of it like upgrading your iPhone operating system to patch a security hole. Bitcoin developers are already working on post-quantum cryptography. If the threat gets real, the network will simply tell everyone, hey, move your coins to this new quantum-proof address format. You make one transaction to the new wallet, and boom, you're safe. The old, abandoned wallets might get cracked eventually, but the active economy will be long gone, safely behind new encryption walls. So here's the bottom line. The quantum apocalypse makes for great sci-fi movies and scary news headlines, but the math just doesn't add up. The risk is isolated to old, dusty wallets. The cost to hack is astronomical, and the fix is already being built. So don't let the quantum fear shake you out of your position. If you're holding Bitcoin in a modern wallet, your job is simple. Keep your private keys safe from regular scammers, sleep tight, and let the developers worry about the quantum stuff. You're doing just fine. Thanks for listening. See you in the next video on the Bitcoin Crypto Explained YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.